na yung record na push button na meron tayo. Ayan, so everything now is being recorded. Be polite, be courteous to your classmate, your teacher, and while I am discussing or showing my presentation, so mas maganda, you turn off your microphone for us not to distract, and of course with your classmate. Then, to concentrate with our topic for this morning. And then, I am now showing a window, a presentation of last meeting that we have tackled, no? And then, ayan, kita nyo na ba yung presentation na naka-share screen?
Opo, sir.
Okay po. How about my voice registration? Loud and clear?
Yes po.
Okay, very good. So, we have already discussed the definition of arts, the nature of the natural objects and artworks, overview of the humanities and the arts, no, the humanities and philosophy from comparison to contrast, the arts and science to the humanities one, the art, the man and society, no, and other fields in the arts that included no to our subject or on our course. We have now the topic of characteristics of an artworks. So, when we say characteristics, ito yung mga features or mga things that we observe, and at the same time, these are what we manifest doon sa ating looks ng isang artworks or ng isang likhang sining, no, na meron tayo. So, katulad nito, they are man-made. This is an artworks because there is a human intervention that somebody who works for this one. So this is made from the skills, and this is a craft that makes by a beautiful hands, no, na na-create ng isang artist o ng isang tao. So regardless of the point of view ng kanyang ginagawa o ng kanyang ginawa, it is made by beautiful hands or by a person or an individual or artist, what we call. They are universal. So, applicable to everybody yung type of art regardless of the place or the setting, kung kailan to nag-erect or nag-arise yung isang kind of arts na meron tayo. So, like for example, yung mga architecture, yung mga visual arts natin, but little visual arts are survived during the period ng mga early times natin because of they scrap them all, and at the same time they change all the arts that inside of this specific period no or time na meron tayo. Then another characteristics of an artworks, they are united. They have the kind of yung arts na sinasabi natin that become unite, no, that become combination, that they become the one with one another. And an art with a united, yun yung mga features that we have from different place and setting that we put it in together. And they are united in becoming giving of meaning and at several ways of telling them no the uh, the real idea or uh, experiences na nandoon in the characteristics of an artworks. They are diversified. Iba-iba sila, but it's still universal and applicable to us and still united when it comes to showing the meaning of the artworks. It differs on the interpretation of an individual's then. And when we focus on characteristics of an artworks diversified, we have different ways of showing of our imaginations or our creativity to tell the audience no about our message or we want to express no doon sa ating ginawang sining. Okay, so like for example, yung mga early people or early civilization, so iba yung ano nila pagbibigay ng expression dun sa mga meaning ng kanilang type of art. So kaya nga may mga period no na mga meron tayo na kung saan they erect this specific type of art. Like for example, yung mga visual arts, these are the prominent one no uh, type of art that we focus and we study no on the humanities. They are expressive, they can give no a more and more impressive ideas They can bring more topics to us. They can give no more a touch of heart kung malalim or in-depth yung pagkilala mo sa isang art. Napakadami niyang meaning na pwedeng ibigay sa atin. Yung expression niya sa atin bilang isang tao when we use our senses, yung organs natin, doon natin makikita yung kabuuan ng isang image or picture na isang characteristics of an artworks. They are creative, wala namang artwork na not to say na pangit, not to say na hindi pleasurable, but regardless of how is it being presented, of the forms, no, and at the same time, yung presentation of way of subject niya is not subjectively lang na isang tao lang yung pwedeng tignan o pagbasihan ng kanyang perception. So everything no na meron tayong ginawang artwork or ng isang artist, this artwork is created no in a creative manner. So yun yung meron tayo. So lahat ng yan ginawa ng malikot na imahinasyon ng ating mga isipan kung paano natin to pinaganda at kung paano natin to ginawa at pinresent sa harapan ng tao. So kung ito ay pleasurable to them, subjective to them if they're entertained with this type of art na meron tayo. If it is not pleasurable to them or delightful with them, then it is a subjective way of interpretation of somebody. But all of type of artworks are creative and showing how they are created, no, and finished on that one. And they are beautiful. Lahat ng work na ginawa natin is kaakibat niya rin si creative. Pag gumawa ka ng creativity, then the result or the outcome will be beautiful. Lahat ng ginawa, katulad ng sinasabi niya ng kasabihan nila, ikaw anak ka ng nanay at tatay mo, you are beautiful. Diba? You are handsome in their eyes. Pero hindi big sabihin nun, yung type na yon na sa iba, sa paningin nila, mali ka. No? O hindi ka kaya-ay sa kanila. But we are all unique. No? Unique like us and individuals. We have different showings of personality, behavior, like an artworks. Ganun din. They have a type of ways of presenting of how is it been looks no to other eyes of people. So sabi nga natin, individualistic or individualism, wherein each one of us has a different personality and behavior or the attitude one na pinapakita natin to them as like an artworks na meron tayo. So human beings are really naturally genuine into their emotions and how they express no themselves to the audience or to the other people. So they are creative, they are beautiful. All of these are made by a human beings. No, kaya nga marami siyang nagawa. It is because of a beautiful way of showing of the skills na meron siya. Next is why artists produce artworks. Number one is to express their emotions and thoughts, real or imaginary. As like what I said, from the characteristics of an artworks, it is creative. The way how we describe, the way how we tell the story, the way how we imagine things, that is the thoughts, real or imaginary way of presenting of an artworks. It's showing also our expression or expressiveness through the emotions that we have. So, yun yung mga meron tayo in presenting an artworks or how we produce an artworks. But more importantly, paano ba natin nagagawa ang isang artworks? Because of expressing of our emotions. Number one yan. So, pwedeng you are sad, you are in the mood right now, you have the emotion of showing this kind of type of an artwork. Kaya nga maraming different types of artworks because people share their emotions from their curiosity, no, their imagination, and then they try to imitate din. So kaya nga ang dami ding mga songs, no, madami ding type of art na magkakatulad o halos similar yung kanilang mga dinadalang mga meaning. No? These are the thoughts no in your mind, which are what you think, no, and that is internal. No? It could be a real or imaginary, or fictional or non-fictional, no, story man. So next is to produce things of beauty. Alam naman natin yung mga artists, gumagawa sila to produce beauty or pleasurable or delightful to our eyes and to our subjective uh, ideas or yung how we appreciate arts. But literally, lahat naman ng artwork na ginagawa ng isang artist ay maganda. So they are beautiful, they are universal, no? Na pwedeng makita ng lahat, na ma-appreciate ng lahat, na pwedeng sabihin natin na kaaya-aya sa ating mga ah, kaisipan, no? Paano natin to dinadigest sa ating kaisipan. Then self-actualization, may mga tao talaga na gusto nilang gumawa ng art for them to be able to realize or to attain yung self-actualization na tinatawag, no? Masarap pakinggan o masarap isipin, no, sa mga, let's say, yung mga artists, or if you are into arts, no, kayo mga AV journalism, most likely kayo ay inclined sa ating tinatawag na journalism. So once you get you write a report, once you write a story or review from a novel, you self-actualize yourself, you feed your hunger with the needs, no, of your body o yung inyong intellectual one, no, na meron tayo. So artists produce artworks because of self-actualization, because of the inspiration that we get from what we have read, what we have experienced from such scenario or situation. Na-fulfill natin yun by self-actualizing of our needs or yung ating wants in life. So, yun yung pwede natin sabihin in our self-actualization. Then, para naman sa mga tao na gusto namang mapasaya ang iba, ito, to entertain other people, to make them happy, and then to bring happiness, no? Yung mga gusto nila sa kanilang mga audience, and at the same time, maraming forms of art na pwede nating i-perform or portray in front of audience or people na nanonood o mga nakakakita sa atin. So like music, so pwede din yan. Like yung dance, so these are the popular na meron tayo. You can use drama, di ba? Before we don't have yung yung drama na katulad ngayon. So most of the drama or the novel are all written, no, in words lang or in letters. But right now, to entertain more people, they adapted na into theater, no, nagkakaroon sila ng innovation. So yun yung mga meron tayo. To persuade, no, of what? For a specific cause of advocacy. So gusto natin maging isang advocate ng isang ganitong bagay na to, or isa tayong crusader or nagtutulak tayo, o isa tayo sa mga taong nangihikayat, no? Or kung may specific cause ka, or kung gusto mong gawin itong boses para sa pagpapataguyod ng isang adhikain na may gusto ka, no, bilang isang artist. Or what do you want? Do you want to show, no, more on appealing to the sector of artists, no, na meron tayo? So maraming pwedeng pagkakitaan, pwede mong maging bilang isang sabihin natin fulfillment in life. Yung mga taong ganon na bakit sila nagpo-produce ng artworks. Hindi lang naman yan artworks na tangible, but also artworks that we cannot be seen, cannot be touched, like yung mga songs na ginagawa or kinakanta ng tao, that is the sounds waves lang naman. Then through that, yung appreciation ng music, yung other songs na meron tayo, or instrumental na meron din tayo, yun yung mga pwede nating gawin in life in pursuing, no, yung pagkaka-self-actualizations natin sa ating buhay. So may mga mayayamang ganyan, but mostly yan yung mga medyo poor or medyo hindi capable, no, to sustain their yung sustenance nila in mga needs nila in life. So they tend to forget, no, or to left behind na lang yung mga ganitong uri ng kanilang dreams, no, in life. Next is the general categories of an artwork. So we have already, no, an overview yesterday about the visual arts. So these are classified into graphic and the plastic arts, which are given now an example doon. So when you say graphic arts, that's flat or two-dimensional. This is mostly no a visual arts na nakikita natin in form of painting, drawing, photography, and other printing industry that related or similar to these examples. So if you have some other examples, you may bring it to this, you may bring it to our class, or you may share, no, kung meron mang nag-exist na bago ngayon. Plastic arts, these are visual arts which have three-dimensional forms. So pag sinabing three-dimensional forms, this is not a flat. This is looks like maybe a 3D form, no, na tinatawag natin, that has a different perspective that we may see, no, the art forms, like yung mga designs from the architectural constructions of building, then the other structures that's similar to this one, the landscape, gardens, parks, playgrounds, interior designs, sculptures, woods, clay, metal, or ivory medium. So these are the one that is under the plastic arts. While on the other hand, we have the performing arts. So kung number one ay visual arts with flat and a three-dimensional one, dito naman ibang aspeto naman yung categories na meron tayo in the performing arts. These are include, no, in theater, play, dance, and music, and which involve movement, speaking, and gestures na meron tayo. So all of you are known, no, familiar, and let's say uh, itong performing arts is a part of the subject ng journalism, because mostly of your works then will engage of this one. So pwede kayo mapunta sa mga Broadway, pwede kayo mapunta sa mga setup or setting ng mga uh, stories, no, or mga telenovela, or what type of movie is this, no. Literary arts for those who want to pursue yung life nila in creating mga literary works. So here you can be a author, no, of a short stories. You can be a novelist, no. You can be a poet, no, in the poetry, and the dramatist, no. So pwede kayo dyan, pwede kayong sumama sa mga working works with the literary arts na meron tayo. So we have the popular arts. So these are the inclusion of the film, newspaper, magazine, radio, and television, that which are now popular, no, on our setting. Unlike before, we are only entertained by performing arts by attending, no, do sa mga theater or play in a one place, no, on our designated dito sa ating bansa. So like the PICC, the UP Theater Arts, sa PNU, so some other places, no, in our country na pwedeng you can attend, no, for this performances. Literary arts, usually it will be found in the bookstore or some libraries, no, na meron tayo that they designated in our place, like in our school. While yung popular arts, though the newspaper can be found in the different places then, like magazine, but somehow may mga ano kasi mas maraming updated o mas maraming bago, no, na nakalagay ngayon, unlike doon sa mga existing before. Radio and television, these are popular, no, in terms of using, no, of subscription na tinatawag natin. So maraming gumagamit, very accessible yung ating yung paggamit ng radio and television nowadays, and even film you can download in the internet. So these are characterized as key and lively, no, type of arts. Gustatory arts of the cuisine is involved in skills in food preparation, well, more on the HRM or hotel and restaurant. or in the culinary arts, yung ating mga involved dito. So, most of them no are presenting no on a manner ng kanilang mga foods, no, and the way of being creative, no, of how they will make the presentation of the meal uh, mas attracted to the customers or to their clients. They make no types of arts like sa mga coffee, yung mga latte, they make figures, no, or other things no that we could give no other uh, arts doon sa kanilang presentations. Like yung mga fruits, they make na a figure of animals, they make other figures no or forms na or shapes na meron tayo. Course, yung plating natin, you can create no different ways of showing your imagination or yung theme that you wanted to show on the services na meron yung isang hotel that may attract and may pagiging appealing yung kanilang looks no sa isang pagkain. Kaya nga sabi nila minsan some foods are appealing but not good in taste. No, meron namang both are good appealing and at the same time once you taste it you will forget your name, sabi nga noon. So for their understanding and for their subjective uh, evaluation sa such food na kanilang binablog or kanilang mga dinidiscuss. So decorative arts, they are visual objects produced for beautifying houses, the offices, cars, and other structures na meron tayo. So decorative, no, from the word that is making beautifying, no, or they are putting no a different decorations and materials to make it pleasing and beautiful no to the eyes of audience na meron tayo. So they modified, they tried to create no a modification or theme with their houses, offices, no, or cars, and other similar structures that may be applied decorative arts. So yan yung meron tayo. So the artists in the world of art are varied in their called no, names. So for number one, under the visual arts, or as a visual artist, if you are inclined of making yung mga paintings, no, yan, ikaw ay isang painter. Regardless of your medium that you are using, once you are inclined, no, or involved, no, or more on working with paintings, you are called as a painter. So you paint pictures, object from your own imagination. So we are not only limited to that way of creating of an arts or subject matter. You can create by scenery or real, no, or idealistic one pictures of your subject matter. So marami naman tayong pwedeng ma-present no, ng mga subject matter which are available right now. So through the making of using of his painting, the painter will reveal what he thinks, what he sees, so that we too see with our own eyes. So like what works with yung work ni si yung Starry Night. Okay? Like yung Starry Night na yon, na-reveal niya rin bilang isang painter yung kanyang gustong sabihin dun sa kanyang ginawa, no? And also dito sa Philippine setting naman yung ating spolyarium, but this is done and works no in other place, no, hindi dito sa Pilipinas, but the painter is a Filipino. So yun yung mga pwede natin i-discuss na from the painter. So the sculptor is draws and carves from original designs and sketches that makes no a model for statues, no, could be human beings kung gusto niyang life size, could be a monument, no, for those who commemorate and given the heroic significance to our society. Then it can create buildings, no, and decorations in clay and chisels out of statues from medium of marbles. stones, no, wood, no, and clay. So these are one of the ways of presenting of their arts. Sculptor may also involve the using of making kanilang medium ice. So in other parts in the world or even here, but we have a minimal number of sculptor who are inclined in making or using of medium ng kanilang ice na tinatawag. So since we cannot uh, uh, yung temperature that requirement is hindi ganoon ka ideal sa atin kasi nga we are humid or hindi ganun kaganda yung atmosphere natin dito. Wala naman tayong snow, hindi naman tayo katulad ng ibang country. And then yan yung meron tayo that we create in doing sculpture. Marami din like now sa sculpture you may use metals, mga fiberglass. So right now these are known materials in making sculpture nowadays. Next is the architect is still in the visual artist pa rin, which she plans for designs, construct public and commercial buildings, like a private residences, theaters, factories, schools, and similar structures. So they make layout, they make propose yung tinatawag na blueprint for preparing the whole picture or ideal looks of the building or what he prepared for the designs. So these are prepared scales and drawings or designs and overseas and prepared or remodeling the building's landscape architect. So yun yung pwede nating makita or they may see the work of an architect. Next is in the artist in the music and dance. So, kanina yung visual arts. Ngayon naman, artist in music and dance or what we call the art of movements. Wherein, it is under of here yung kanyang type ng artist, yung musicians, person who are inclined paggamit ng mga instrument and who want to incline or who works or love who works for music na meron tayo. So ito yung mga pwede natin makita as a musicians. So like yung mga tao na yan katulad ng pagiging composer, pagiging performer. So marami tayo. Laya Salonga, performer na, singer pa, composer, si Ogie Alcacid in Filipino. So, yun yung mga meron tayo. Instrumentalist, for those who are inclined in using or playing instruments. Yeah. So, like symphonist, organist, if you have a talent with this, you can, di ba? So, and others na meron tayo dito. Next is singer or a songster na tinatawag natin or an opera singer or prima donna. So it depends on your label on how would you want to address you as a singer. So if you're a songster, opera singer, prima donna, or diva on the certain kung yung ba yung talent mo o nandoon ba yun sa title mo o sa label mo bilang ikaw na isang opera singer ba. Kung opera singer ka, then most likely yung mga kanta mo is inclined mo on the opera one, di ba? Yung mga matataas, yung mga masyadong ma-echo, yung mga masyadong pang theater play, yung mga ways of presentation mo. Then you may label as an opera singer. Then yung choreographer naman natin is an artist who compose or teaches choreography. So yung mga choreographer natin, they teaches choreography, yung mga dances or the dance of the art of movements ng ating body as artistically. So this art of presenting stage stage dancing by design of the music. Pwede din naman a cappella or a combination of that. Kasi it's more pleasing to our eyes and mas maganda kung accompanied by music kasi mas lalo nagiging attractive at mas nagiging beautiful yung presentation. And of course, yung beat kasama na rin doon and yung body movements that works or move aesthetically accompanied with this uh, a beautiful music na meron tayo. So, yun yung maganda rin no, to the our eyes. Next is dancer. So, kung walang dancer, walang choreography and walang choreographer no, to create no, the work of dance na meron tayo in artists. So, they are artists who moves no, body artistically. So, yun yung may mga smart body na o body smart na tinatawag kung saan they are more inclined no in using their body movements no or to create one gestures or actions, and then they make beautiful music, they make no gestures by accompanied by a beautiful music na meron tayo. So mas lalo nakakadagdag o nakakagana yon once we have this like of uh, uh, background music. So what we have next is the last no in the literary arts, which called no yung poet, who are inclined in making the verse form yung kanilang mga type of arts, like yung mga sa poem, so isa na yon, or people who are yung mga idiomatic or pwedeng paggawa, pwedeng pagsama-samahin din yon, free verse no. And then we have of course yung mga people who want to use yung mga figurative languages natin in beautifying no the message to somebody na binibigyan mo ng message na. Yung novelist, if you are inclined in making a fictional but with originality, a fun story. So, merong mga chapters ito, medyo maraming session, maraming setting, maraming character, maraming involved at the same time. Dapat imaginative way of presenting of the story yung gagawin in which you tell yung gusto mong sabihin doon sa message mo, doon sa tema na gusto mong ipakita sa kanila. So marami naman tayo ngayon mga fictional no na story na pwede natin gawin, like uh, yung mga story ng mga Game of Thrones, yung mga Harry Potter, and many no that we have as fictional no with, and even yung controversy din before na 50 Shades no of Grey, hindi yung mga isa sa mga issue no na ginawa from the book then adaptation to theater. But it is normal for somehow yung mga story na may mga ganyan that issues of the masochism and the sadism one. But moreover, it is not only portraying on that matter or the subject itself, but it's more than on that one. Nagkakaroon na ng other sexual arousal or other issues that might be addressed no for not fulfilling his objective, or that maybe exceed on the expectation no, of the viewers or the supporters of this type of an arts or yung novel na meron sila. So next is the author, who are also known as writer of a books, of a some of the written literary arts that we have no na meron tayo. So like yung mga short stories no and other types of literary arts no that may called author. So next is yung ating poem is called as a poet no na gumagawa ng mga tula no na meron tayo. So we have author of a dramatic play is a called no a dramatist that involved no in creating this type of yung kanilang mga script, yung lines, and then even the story of this drama. Next is the playwright no or the writes plays no and adapts his material for the stage, radio, television, or motion pictures productions. So sila yung mga nasa likod ng mga successful movies like yung mga Diary ng Pangit and other uh, literary works no that more on the playwrights no or adapting materials. to TV and radio television, no? Meron tayo. Kasi parang hindi na ngayon medyo aware tayo or medyo exposed from the adaptation of materials through making use of stage. So since we are innovative, we have now television or motion na tinatawag, or they make use radio, no, in displaying this type of materials. But other SAMs, no, na meron tayo, yung mga sa radio, yung mga sa noontime or evening sessions nila, meron pa rin ganito. Pero it is more on only of ano po, through the voices lang, no. There is no such action that we can hear, only words, sounds, no, and other things that may produce in radio na meron tayo similar to that. So dramatist writes a composition in prose, poetry, and then it arranges excitement to be performed by actors and actresses. Then it is course portray on such stage, no, or place na meron tayo, and then they tell them the story of the drama that they have, no, and it makes, no, engagement din sa kanila in the dramatic art in portraying their character as who they are, no, and their personality in such position of their job na ginagawa nila. So sila yung mga nandiyan, no, and they are really skillful or skilled, no, in this type of art kasi they can fake us, they can fake them, or they can fake their personality doon kasi it can alter, kasi nga dun sa pagpapakita ng portray na kanilang such an action or personality as a character who are assigned to this one, no, kung antagonist or agonist siya doon sa story nila. So yun yung mga meron tayo, no. Let's move on to the principles of art that are very important in the organization in the visual arts. First and foremost, we have first and foremost in the principles of art or the design, it is no makes no easier for us na an artist to express ideas through such making of observed principles of arts or interested of his work in presenting the subject matter na meron siya. So, katulad dito, yung design ng isang object na pwedeng ipakita, no, doon sa isang observer yung kanyang whole function or yung use doon sa isang gusto niyang ipahiwatig. So through that, the combination of the following principles of design, like yung paggamit din natin, no, besides sa mga principles of visual arts ng presentation, kasama ng pagpili ng lines, ng colors, no, tsaka yung forms na available. Ito yung mga dapat na makita natin in making of our arts, no, in the presentation to our audience. Kasi it is an essential part and it uplift the spirits, no, at the same time of the arts or experiences that we wanted to show to them. And then they make satisfied, no, at the same time. So first one, and under the principles of art, is the harmony. So harmony is essential because it makes no beautiful or beauty to the presentations. So from the word harmony, all elements, no, are put together to come up with the coherent as a whole. So harmony in the various parts of design, yung appearance niya pag lumabas doon, there is a unity, no, na nangyari sa loob ng isang picture or sa isang art na kung saan makikita natin na there is an equal distribution din, that every parts are in the average, no, color, whether it is a warm or cool colors, the lines that is being presented on the picture. So like this one na meron tayo, achieving the harmony, no, and ayan, paglalagay ng mga other objects, no, inside the pictures and makes us attention, no, and get our attention from this picture na meron tayo. So yun yung makikita natin in painting or in such decoration or design that make use. So there are complementary colors that makes beautiful, no? And there have a variety of colors that put in into one place, then make it pleasing to our eyes, that build into that picture. Okay? So next is the balance. Balance is a pleasing relationship between the various elements. Kaya nga, it is distribution no, of each weight no, and each side is equal. So, yung may tatlong balance tayo na tinatawag kung saan makikita natin yung idea ng picture ng isang balance. So, merong symmetrical and asymmetrical. So, alam niyo naman yung word na symmetrical, na pag ang symmetrical pinakita natin, both sides are equally distributed on weight, while on asymmetrical, both side are not equally distributed on weight that might affect no, the balance of the presentations na tayo. Yung radial naman natin, pwede nating sabihin, alam niyo yung flower na it has a petals doon, it has distributions of the whole no pictures of the sizes no, and the balance are put in together in the central point na meron tayo. So yun yung meron tayo sa balance in presentations. So let me stop sharing and show to you yung yung presentation, and for at least you will understand better yung tsura niya. Wait for a moment. Let me open the document na meron tayo nun. Alright, there we go. Ito po yung sinasabi ko sa inyo. Let me share screen first. Ito pa. Kita nyo na po?
Yes po, sir.
Ayan. In the principles of design, you have balance, you have symmetric, no? There's an equal distribution of weight on each side. So, symmetrical, however, no, meron naman siyang unequal distribution, or each sides no are differ no to each weight na meron sila. And while the radial balance is yung sabi ko kanina, yung parang it look like sa petal no ng flowers, na it is being arranged no in the central point of the elements. Then all of them are similar as they spread into central point of the pictures that we have. So that's how balance is being presented in the forms of design na meron. Okay po. So, going back, I'll be stop sharing for this one. Then, another slide, yung kanina, yung old one, meron tayo. So, ayan, the picture of an example, isang balance that presented. So, like the radial balance, the symmetry, and the asymmetry one no, in the picture. So, there are lesser number of objects here that being presented. Unlike here, no, this one, yung kanyang parts na to. And the picture and overall, in presenting the whole image of the idea of the picture. So next is the rhythm. Yung rhythm is repetitive pattern of succession and similar or identical items no in the picture. So, tong rhythm na to is achieved by regular or harmonious recurrence lines. So, stop sharing, going back to the old one na meron tayo kanina para at least makita niyo yung picture ng ating idea ng rhythm. So, yung rhythm natin, ito po, kita niyo na?
Yes po, sir.
Okay. Yung rhythm naman is created one or more elements of designs are repeatedly produced in the elements. Either it's a continuous or organized or a flowing movement na meron tayo. They make an exciting and active of a picture of emphasizing the object. So rhythmical or rhythmical patterns will help the eye to move easily from one part of the object inside the room that we have. And therefore, yung rhythm natin helps to create a harmony in a design on a specific subject or room that you wanted to. So katulad na lang yung paggawa natin ng aesthetics sa paggawa ng prose o ng tula, may rhythm. Tama po ba? Sa paggawa ng literary arts. Sa music, may rhythm din. Sa dance, may rhythm din. Sa painting, may rhythm din. Sa architecture and sculpture, may rhythm din. So those are maybe unavailable yung ating rhythm na idea or subject to the presentations of art na meron tayo. So, hindi lang siya nakikita isa isang type of art na pwede natin gawin, but it may apply to other parts of the arts that we have now in the presentation. Stop sharing, then back to the old one na meron ulit tayo. So, like for this example ng rhythm natin, yan. So, there are similar and identical pictures of the objects that being presented. So, that is an architecture, there's a sculpture, there is a figure of objects that presented over here na identical and similar. Next po is the principles of art ng ating proportion. So, comparative relationship of the different parts in relation to the whole. So objects that are out of proportion are not pleasing to look at. Tama naman po, di ba? Minsan sabihin natin, ay, bakit hindi pantay? They are not harmoniously proportionate doon sa isang way of presentations natin. And that's why do not achieve yung ating objects. So they might be too big or too small, and the other parts of the placing of the objects na meron tayo on the whole parts of the presentations of art. Sabi nga nila, sabog sa pagsayaw, hindi na ipakita ng maayos, or sa paintings natin, they make use of too much of number of colors or two or more colors of amounts na nilagay natin dyan. Kaya masyadong hindi napakita yung true meaning or yung kanyang gustong ipahiwatig to us doon sa isang works. But in painting, the principle ng ating good proportion is useful of combining colors such as yung mga determining margins doon sa isang pictures na gusto mong ipakita. So, parang katulad nung nauna, nagkakaroon ng harmony doon sa isang picture or sa isang type of art na meron. So, sa sculpture naman, pwede natin makita yung paglalagay ng comparative size of the different parts of the object na kailangan natin consider in putting them all the necessary features of an sculptures. So, yun yung pwede natin makita in making or creating of an art. Sa interior decorations naman, dapat proportion is obtained in considering like yung mga size ng mga furniture inside of this room. Kasi kung hindi at medyo malaki at medyo masikip yung room, oversize na yung ginamit mo ng mga gamit na which might affect yung space na meron lang tayo. And hindi nakakapagpaganda siya. Then sa decoration, pwede tayong maglagay ng mga wallpaper that may create space or illusion to our eyes na mas napapahaba o mas papalawak din natin siya. Tama naman, di ba, in making of us doon sa isang arts na meron tayo. Like this one, that is proportion equally the have the sizes, and the looks and opportunity to have of a picture ng isang art. Next is the principles of art ng emphasis. So, emphasis is giving proper importance to one or more parts of the thing or whole thing itself. So, whenever we look at room, or some parts, we catch our attention or interest while other parts are not noticed at all. So, ibig sabihin, there are something object inside the certain artworks that might be catch our attention and other interests from the other parts ay hindi natin napapansin. So parang kumbaga hinahanap natin yung ay parang nakikita agad natin yung ating tawag ito reaction dun sa isang picture na ayan, yun yung kapansin-pansin agad na na-emphasize doon sa presentation na gustong sabihin o gustong ipakita dun sa isang art. So, it may catch no yung ating attention doon sa isang buong arts na meron siyang pinipresent. And yung ibang parte niyon are subordination na lang yon ng kanyang presentation. So, ibig sabihin, these are not important. Only what we catch our attention is the important thing that he might be showing no or expressing doon sa isang object na yun. Or ito yung central point of idea niya. So, katulad ng emphasis, ang paglalagay ng emphasis is importante sa lahat daw ng paggawa ng art forms. Kasi, it is the most noticeable o mabilis na napapansin sa mga art na meron tayo. Like yung sa advertisement or advertising. Katulad nyo in the literary arts, no? Or if you want to in the theater arts. So, gagawa agad kayo ng pwedeng ma-emphasis natin to have no or to catch the attention of the audience or the viewers to our advertisement, no? And to meet your expectation about what we emphasize no, to the advertisement that we shown on the popular artsman or in the other forms of arts that we have. So, at the same time, emphasis in the visual arts daw is secured yung several ways of presentations na meron tayo. So, like yung pag-secure nyo nung kanyang size and position, kasi important yun to put them, no, yung object or to catch the attention of the viewers into a proper placing the size and position of an object. So, the large picture that we put, so it will catch easily and interest of the viewer. So, kung maliit siya, therefore, medyo lessen yung attraction and how we notice them no easily. So, it attracts attention din kasi kung mas malaki to yung size and position na nakalagay doon. Therefore, it create emphasis. Okay po, na meron tayo. So, sa color, it may create also rin yung emphasis kasi pwede natin gawin yung contrast ng mga colors, pwede natin gawing center of interest yung mga color which is very pleasing or much are attractive or maybe something that is unusual to our eyes that might get our attention or noticeable yung ganitong color. So like yung mga like use ng intense color. So number 1 yan. No? It's make bold doon sa isang pictures and bright colored no accessory na meron tayo. So parang minsan no inaayos din natin o nilalagay din natin sa tama. Next is the example of pictures ng ating emphasis, the girl with wearing a pearl earring one na meron tayo. So yung pearl earring, yung kanyang gustong emphasize sa kanyang picture na gusto nating ma-identify or ma-notice agad no, to the picture. So, judging up a artwork na tayo, can you still follow or too much of our information na meron tayo?
Sakto lang po, sir.
Sakto lang. Kasi ito rin naman ay na-discuss na during your high school, elementary tinuturo na rin to. So, yan, medyo review lang tayo and application na pagdating dito sa college. And medyo mas malalim na yung pagtingin natin sa object ng art na meron tayo. So, judging a artworks is assessing because we use the word judging or judgment natin because our intuition towards that artwork is of how we perceive and understand and appreciate of an artwork na meron tayo in our front, no, or on our face na meron tayo. So like yung sincerity, so sabi nga natin in every competition there is a sincerity na kailangan makita that the artist, no, are produced an artworks in honest manner, and his attention is frank and open in showing to us, no, yung kanyang subject matter, no, na meron tayo. So kung gusto niya masyadong vulgar, masyadong ipakita yung tunay na kalagayan, then your pure intention, no, ay naipakita mo doon. And then you give to us, no, yung eye opener na tinatawag to tell us what is really happening, or to show us an awareness to us na meron tayo. Ang dami ngayon ng type of arts that use of sincerity, na inapakita nila yung true meaning or intention nila, that they do not hide themselves from the double meaning of, or the meaning itself of the title na meron sila. So it's also a striving for effect either by affective emotion or sensation or excited feelings through the use of sincerity na meron tayo. Pwede din yon, pwedeng gawin ng lahat naman, no, at pag in-apply natin yun sa pag-assess ng isang type of an artworks, it really affect ba itong bagay na to us, or if not, are we just faking the emotions? Now, are the sensations are in-outer lang ba natin? Or what kind of feelings is this available to us, no? And how we perceive and makita natin yung bagay mo. Can we get the artist's point, no, of view without being sentimental? Or we see the sentimental point of view niya dun sa kanyang pinapakita. So, pwede din yon, because in sincerity, yung artist na gumagawa ng isang art na meron tayo, pwede niyang baguhin, lituhin, no, or pwede niyang ipakita ng diretso din sa atin yung idea ng gusto niyang art na meron siyang gustong ipapresent sa atin. So katulad nung may gawa, no, ng Pieta by Michelangelo, no, so na kung saan makikita natin there is a perfect and honest, no, way of presentation. It then sentimentally affected our emotions doon sa pictures na meron tayo. So yun yung sa pictures ni sculpture ni Michelangelo ng marble, na kung saan Jesus Christ is laid down on the hands ni Mary doon pagkatapos ng crucifixion, no, doon ng mga Romano during that time. So sentimentally, yung picture, makikita natin of how the emotions, no, na ipinakita doon sa tunay na pangyayari and effect of our emotions, no, ourselves to the picture of the Pieta. Next is the universality. Judging of an artwork is thus the work embody or symbolize universal truth in making us know in work of art na meron tayo. Sabi din dito, it is no the truth, no, and it not hidden, no, or did not hidden the particular work, no, na meron siya sa presentation. And at the same time, is this the work applicable to the world? No? Kasi hindi naman lahat at not all are applicable in the universality type of work. So, tingnan natin kung pwede siya for everyone, if this is still, no, useful to each one of us, no, na makakakita or makakakuha ng ganitong type of art na meron. Does the work, no, of art only have a momentary value doon sa lahat ng place and setting na meron tayo in the world or in the region? Kasi baka mamaya hindi naman, and does not have convey any meaning, or it does not have any impact to them. Yan, yung meron tayo, yung example ng the Good Samaritan, which embodied a universal truths na meron tayo that are permanent, no, and universally applicable to each one of us, that has, no, a momentary value in every setting or place, no, and even the region particularly na meron tayo. Magnitude, yung scope or broad ng monumental, does it cover a wide ground or subject matter as you try to look on the picture of it, and then it is a worth the effort to return the work and to understand it more deeply. It makes us perceive yung the whole picture itself. So medyo maraming idea ng tawag dito ng size, ng kanyang weight, and how is it being attract to us yung mga subject matter na yan. And then yung craftsmanship niya is an artist no understand his craft in making mga mami, hindi niya naman naintindihan talaga. Ginawa niya lang for the sake of creating of an art. And then, kailangan kasama na rin dun yung puso sa paggawa ng isang art to make it beautiful. No? Is his workmanship sounds what na? Is it good or bad? No, na meron tayo to tell it how and why na meron tayong workmanship yung ginawa. Is he sincere? Is he really doing this one for the sake of what? Na meron tayong paggawa ng work na. So yung workmanship na, yung craftsmanship natin, baka mamaya, hindi naman siya effective and efficient because he is not productive. Maybe she's efficient but not effective because he's not doing her job, no, or his job well. Is the work good taste or poor taste? No, no matter. After doing all of this no work of art or craftsmanship, wala namang pangit na maganda, but still it is subjective no to an assessing of an artwork kung if it is really a good no or not to us. Kasi yan, kaya nga judging of an artwork is the work is artful, is really an unique, is really an interesting one. So if it is not, or if it is not with the rule or in the criteria in judging of an artwork, then therefore it will not be chosen no, in the work of art. So lahat maganda, lahat maayos, lahat are applicable, lahat ay may impact, lahat ay sincerity mo ipinakita. And you have your own you have your genuine no showing emotions no and your skills to this type of an art, but still it is subjective no to are still subject no to send no for judging no or for assessing of it, no the type of art that you have in the criteria na meron tayo. So lagi yun na makikita natin. While on the other hand, meron naman tayo pa din which are the elements of visual arts, which is the painting. Yung painting natin na meron tayo ay makikita natin na kung saan meron mga perspective dito. Like yung mga colors, which is may tackled yung psychology of colors, ano yung mga associated meaning dito that still makes us remember and describe no psychological or emotional connotation. Like yung color, na alam niyo yung story ng Inside Out na movie, tama ba? That the title it is? Tama ba? Inside Out?
Di po sure, sir.
Ano po? Tama po ba mali?
Po, sir.
Apo, sir.
Thank you. Sorry. So, hindi ko lang matanda ng maayos yung movie na yun. So, like yung psychology of colors, yung color connotation or emotional connotations, no? Like yung red, di ba? Yung blue, di ba? There's a meaning behind their colors. There's an emotion that accompanied with these colors na meron tayo that gives an importance or impression to the colors no na meron tayo. So yun yung meron tayo na pwede nating makita that can be convey that may convey no doon sa isang ideal situation or ideal use of one color. So what more else is yung katulad nito, yung ating line, hindi lang siya line na line lang na meron tayo. Ang line natin ay maraming uri na tinatawag. So, yung line is define a point of moving in space. So, like yung pag-drawing nyo o pag-guhit nyo ng line, it's a point moving in space. Line may be 2 or 3-dimensional. So, pwede itong, it could be combined, no? Both diagonal and horizontal, no? Or oblique man na paggawa ng isang line. So, meron din siyang descriptive, implied, or abstract in way of showing the lines na meron tayo. So like what we have used no in the representation of figures, we use lines, tama po ba? So yung lines and figures na ginagawa natin is here no fall on line aspect or elements of the visual arts. So Some of lines that we have is horizontal, vertical, diagonal, or even curved lines that we have. Or you may use yung repetitions na meron tayo if you wanted to make it two or more similar or identical lines na available in your subject matter. So, alam niyo naman ang horizontal line. Tama po ba? So,
Yes,
yung horizon, ayan, very good. So, yung horizontal lines natin, yun yung pwede nating makita na kung saan paggawa ng mga lines or pagguhit in the space na tinatawag natin. So, na kung saan pwede din siyang parisan ng horizontal lines no, na tinatawag na poised for action na kung saan balance and forceful yung meaning niya rin. Then we have diagonal lines. Yung actions of movements niya are not unlike the horizontal and vertical but still aligned pa rin that maybe connect to the vertical and horizontal lines yung ating isa pang lines na diagonal. Yung curve lines naman, yung mga curve na meron tayo is something that is not uh, uh, like horizontal din na tuwid na diretso lang. But this is a combination of the three din na pwede natin gawin to make it curve, no, na meron tayo. So, let's take a look for example of that. Ito yung kaninang slide. So, stop sharing muna ako dito. Share ko yung isang window. So, yung window natin na meron tayo, ito po, no, pwede nating makita yung other elements, no, ng art na meron tayo. For a while, check ko lang. Sorry na ano lang, nade-delay lang ako ha. Matrace. I'll be stop sharing first for your convenient, at least hindi kayo hanap na din. Ako na lang. Wait lang ha, for a moment. There we go. Ayan, nakita ko na yung kinds of line na meron tayo. So, ito po yung line na binabanggit ko sa inyo na kailangan natin din maging malaman sa paggawa. So, yung mga stickman na gumagawa, so ito yung mga kinds of line na ginagawa natin. At naturally, it is a part of the drawing or how we make use or how we use no, yung available na meron tayo. So, yung kinds of line, ito po, yung straight lines, no, yung mga horizontal, vertical, no, these are geometric shapes, no? So, these are maybe called diagonal din, so mga diagonals pictures, and yung zigzag, which are the curved lines na meron tayo that available on that one. So, yun yung mga pwede nating ma-picture out and creating no lines or geometric shapes no sa ating mga type of art na ginagawa. Usually, it is made from a visual arts like a painting, na meron tayo sculpture, architecture. So, yun yung mga pwede nating gamitin or we use for creating a fan art. So, the next one is yung ating color na meron tayo. So, yung color is significance of as an element of the visual arts. Cannot be overemphasized daw, no? Because a delight in color is universal human characteristic. Hindi mawawala siya, lagi siya nandyan. Kumbaga, sangkap siya sa pagkain, nagbibigay, not literally nagbibigay kulay, but nagbibigay attraction sa isang bagay na kung saan yung color property niya may get no an attention to our eyes no yan sa mga nakikita natin. So yun yung mga meron tayo. So pwede natin makita rin dito sa color is yung primary, secondary, and tertiary colors and complementary colors. So we have the properties of colors. When we say properties, Ito yung number 1 niya, yung U, which meaning the name, the given name of the color. So, could be in the primary or secondary, like what we have here an example. So, you try to look on the Philippine flag, then you will notice, no, or you will remember easily the primary color. Then the combination of that two will be the secondary colors na meron tayo. Sorry for the spelling. That is orange, no? Then that one. Then in the mixing of the primary and secondary, the intermediate, no, or the tertiary colors will be created, no, like this one na meron tayo. So next is the value, refers ng lightness at saka ng darkness ng color. If you wanted to make it no lighted, no, katulad na sa picture, or darkened, so you may apply in the value of this one. You may change, you may add, no, on the quantity of the light of the reflex ng meron tayo. So pwede nyo tingnan yon. Yung intensity, yung strength niya, pwede natin makita. Yung pagkakaroon ng vivid, no? Yung pagka too much of color, very bright yung color niya na meron tayo. Then, how colors are relate? So, meron tayo dito yung complementary that are opposite each color that reach by its side na meron tayo. So, they are contrast to each other brightness like yung orange, red and orange, yellow and violet, and blue and orange na meron tayo. So, stop here. Back to the old one. Ayan, yung line, yung shape, meron tayo. So, in shape, we have the two-dimensional flat or limited or height and width na tinatawag, which are very important, no, sa atin din sa elements or the properties of the arts na meron tayo, which are perspective din sa paggawa ng isang art na meron, no? Kung ito po ba ay paggawa ng sphere, circle, no, or what geometrical shape is again would you like to be, no, or to draw in your artwork. So stop sharing, going to the another slide na meron tayo for shape. Okay. I'm sorry for too many presentation para dito kasi ganun talaga eh. We need to see to it na napapakita din natin yung natural expression ng mga pictures naman and other essential words that best describes to the classification or kinds of art forms na meron tayo. So right now, I am here with the new slides, yung form na meron ako. So we have classification of shape. So sinabi ko kanina yung mga geometrical shapes na pwede nating makita that you may use or apply in creating an artwork. So merong abstract shapes, no, pwede mong gamitin yung kahit anong bagay which is fall in the abstract. Non-objective, you may use shapes as na recognizable an object and similar to other organic form like what we have in the natural. So this may be nature-like shape, no, ng mga leaves, animals, mountain, flowers, and seashells. So when you make an art forms pagdating doon, hindi lang basta stickman, hindi lang basta doon rumawing ka ng triangle to make it a mountain. But these are more on the classification of shape, of showing, no, of a picture of a natural one. Then, kailangan makita din natin yung pictures niyan ay hindi lang basta geometric shapes lang din na paggawa. Kasi ang sculpture, hindi naman siyang totally picture na geometric shapes na yun na yun talaga. But somehow similar or somehow curved and somehow in the position of making up an structure of shape that must be applied or must be shown, no, as an outcome in creating your artwork. Sa architecture, kailangan yung three-dimensional like the geometric shapes kasi this is very important to put the shapes, no, into a exact line and have a numbers na meron tayo to become accurate, no, to identify yung mass and volume na tinatawag natin. So yun yung meron tayo na pwede natin makita. While on the other hand, yung texture natin, so yan, it may refers to how we feel or na tactile, no, to the senses of organs na meron tayo. So, pag naramdaman mo if it is fine, smooth, rough, or rug, so that's the texture of an art na meron tayo. Okay po. So, sa space is an illusion of the graphic arts. So, pwede siyang a depth or a distance to two-dimensional art. So, katulad pwede sa sculpture, architecture, na pwede nating i-present. So, yung space natin, pwede siyang sa paglagay sa taas, sa upper part, sa middle, sa side, or sa bottom one. So, it may differ on how you create your techniques, no, to that type of arts na meron tayo sa space. So, yung space kasi is putting great an importance also at the same time ng pag-build, no, ng isang interior design mo na picture or decorations inside of your subject matter. Then it represents, no, yung space, no, na two-dimensional surface mo na meron tayo, which will be the relationship of the perception ng space na meron ka. Okay? So, yan. Ayan, yung creating a mode of space, pwedeng overlapping, relative size, position on the picture plane, relative to height. So sabi ko nga sa inyo, relative to kanina, na ang picture, pwede nating ilagay which were occupies, no, on what part of the space. So picture could occupy more than half of the picture of the plane. You could be put it on the top, the bottom, or the middle, or in the side, or more than enough to the ideal one na meron ka. If you wanted to overemphasize the picture, so it may be a complete, no, or cover once our whole picture or whole space that we have. So na meron tayo. So it can be found in the bottom or no closer to the viewer one. It depends on how is it being putted, no, or being drawn doon sa isang space. Perspective. So it will be in the distance appears object. It may be could an illusion way. Pwedeng medyo minimal yung size niya or medyo malaki-laki din naman. It may depends or may get, you know, an depth distance way how you look at, no, and how you understand it, yung kanyang picture na meron tayo. So they may use, no, sabi din dito, linear and aerial perspective one. So stop sharing, back to the old one. Yan, form, shape, na discuss na natin. The value, space, color. Ayan, okay na rin pala to. Texture, okay na rin. So, other related and two-dimensional media. So, in the other related and two-dimensional media, dito naman papasok na dito yung mga siguro yung mga popular or yung mga that are used before or which are let's say mga nauso na before and then ngayon nare-revive lang sila or maybe ngayon yung mga bagong nauso lang. Okay? So dito sa print, maybe because of the help and of the advanced technology na meron tayo. So computer printouts, no, are now abundant, no. And printmaking refers to creation of picture by designing printing from a plate that holds or ink. Remember our high school days or even elementary days, we make printmaking in the physical education or in the arts. Kasi kami nung elementary at high school, nag-printmaking kami. Gumawa kami ng sarili naming name, gumawa kami ng sarili naming mga pictures, kinat out, and then katulad nito, yung hindi katulad ngayon nung nagpapatatak ng mga damit, yung mga rubberized na before, yung old way of doing of making a printmaking to our clothes, no, na idinidikit or idinadraw doon. So yun yung mga meron tayo. Like yung may plate muna, after nung plate, lalagyan mo siya nung hinubog mo or yung kina-out mong picture of what you desire to put it into your clothes, no, as your representations in your arts. So the big difference between the print and the painting is that prints outs are purposely made to easily reproducible. So totoo naman, because of the advanced technology and there's an abundant use of computer printouts, therefore our production for printouts are really at tons. Unlike in the painting, manually, and at the same time we cannot get exactly the picture of it, and it takes time and too much expensive. And one more thing is it really needs an skills for us not to create a painting one or a beautiful one, you know, to the other eyes na meron tayo. So next is the printing techniques na meron tayo. So yung printing techniques natin na meron tayo are really an important thing, no, to understand. Kasi dyan din makikita natin, katulad yung mga meron tayo ngayon na hindi natin naintindihan, katulad na lamang ng pera, may art pala yan. Meron palang relief dyan, may intaglio pala dyan. So how is it embedded dyan yung art na yan na meron tayo? Siyempre, ang pera, it has a design. It has a form or a shape or pictures inside of it. Yung relief na method na meron tayo, yung surface niya or yung image na is naka-embossed or naka-printed higher than the background. So, sa madaling salita, ating nasasalat o ating nararamdaman yung subjects or yung kanyang images inside the plate or inside the object that is being printed inside of it. So like what we have yung pera natin, yung piso tsaka 5 piso, yung luma at bago, yung perang papel, 'di ba? We touch this and we feel it the surface na medyo embossed or higher than its background yung kanyang picture o yung kanyang object na nakahold doon. O hold a peso coin or 5 peso coin, then compare it yung mga old coins ng 5 peso coin sa 1 peso coin, hold it and try it to feel it yung nandiyan. 'Di ba? Nakikita nyo nandiyan agad yung texture. It is smooth because it is made of metal. It is na clean and at the same time na polish na siya. So, smooth and shiny siya na makikita nyo, and at the same time yung kanyang gilid a form of geometric shapes, that is a circle, and the space, how is it being putted, the image, it is in the middle and occupied almost of the whole space na meron tayo. Tama po ba? And how about the relief? The 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 object that is being written or engraved on that one are embossed or higher than on the background, that na nasasalat o na nararamdaman natin na nakaumbok o merong parang isang mataas na parte. Then, yung ibang parte ay mailalim, which is the opposite of the relief or which is the intaglio na tinatawag natin. Okay po ba? Nakita nyo ba, naramdaman nyo ba na yung mga sinabi ko, na imagine nyo ba sa mga walang hawak at sa mga may hawak, na-experience nyo ba yung meron akong binabanggit ngayon? May I verify or kindly confirm yung aking dinidiscuss kung nakita nyo yung sinasabi ko? Joint 3A, nasundan nyo ba? Please confirm.
Yes po, sir.
Ayan, may hawak na piso, 5 piso na luma at bago si Ellen. How about you, James? Ganun din ba? James? Okay, for Jose, yes po, sir. That's a good observation. For Francesca, okay din po. Naramdaman niya rin. That's a good, no? At least, I shared on you yung mga kanyang typical na arts na hindi natin pinapansin or hindi natin nabibigyan masyado ng attention, no? Then ito yung relief na meron tayo, how is it looks like. So the printed image, the paper that been used, but hindi naman ito yung ginagamit sa Bangko Sentral. Syempre, baka mamaya sabihin, sabi ni sir, ito po yung ginagawa at paano nangyari. No, we have case to case and how is it used na the materials and how is it being applied to the equipments that we have. Kasi, syempre, iba naman to. Itong relief na simple image or example na meron tayo. Pagdating sa Bangko Sentral, they use an heavy equipment to cut out these heavy or metal materials na meron silang ginagamit to have a mas durable na money na meron tayo pag barter dito sa ating mga economic system. So we have intaglio is the reverse or the opposite exact of the relief one. So ganun din yung sinabi ko kanina, meron tayong mga usual examples din na intaglio. Doon din sa pera, sa piso tsaka sa luma at bago ay makikita natin yung sign ng kanyang number na 1 is not unlike before na naka-emboss siya. Ngayon is naka-ano na siya, hindi na siya naka-emboss or cutted out na siya. So medyo malalim na siya, mararamdaman mo na medyo pababa. Unlike sa isang old style of the peso na meron tayo na coin na yun. So we have high relief. Yung high relief are embossed really, and yun yung mga in the walls na meron tayo like in the church or other structure in the buildings, ay doon natin sila ma-observe. Let me pause for a while. And sorry for the interruption. So, okay, yung intaglio natin or yung kanina yung binabanggit ko, yung high relief, that in the walls they are nakadikit doon sa mga walls na yan, that yung high relief na mapapansin ninyo like in the churches, yung mga dikit ng mga rebulto or mga objects doon that may consider as high relief. Okay, katulad na lang yung bagong tayo ngayon na architecture in the Tagaytay City Hall, yung kanilang Hall of Justice. Isa yun sa mga example, yung taas nun, merong pictures or objects ng human beings na object na nakadikit on the wall. Like in the churches, also yung mga subjects nila is yung mga biblical characters, kung saan is high relief din po yun. And kung kayo nakadaan dyan sa Aguinaldo Highway, dyan sa may going to SM Bacoor, meron dyan yung garden, or yung cemetery na makikita nyo, naka-embossed din or naka-high relief yung object. Yung Angelus, yun, tama. Yun yung name nila. Okay? Hindi po tayo nag-advertise, pero yun yung meron tayo doon. Next is yung planner natin. Yung planner na meron tayo na makikita natin is isa sa mga ginagamit din in the monoprints. Before, they used as to create the surface ng cutting or incising to produce an object doon sa isang plate na meron tayo, which may use yung removal or by whipping the scratching away nung ating gustong desired pictures or subjects sa isang ginagawa natin. So yun yung exact image na gusto mo sa madaling salita. So paper is laid over the matrix, then run through the press to transfer the image to the paper that we have before use an old style. Monoprints, ganun din as monotypes sa tinatawag, which are the simplest way of printing of the media before. So we have different printing techniques like what we have here, the intaglio. Ang intaglio natin merong tatlong uri, merong dry point, etching, tsaka engraving. Tsaka itong mezzotint na tinatawag natin. Sa ating method na to, yung plate natin is incise the lines, then which carry the ink and leave a raised impression to the surface na ginawa natin. So, katulad yan, engraving. Pag engraving process, nag-incise, nagtatanggal, nagka-cut out into the desired design na meron ka. Yung dry point naman, from the word dry point, na ginagawa natin, yung artist daw ay magdodraw directly on the metal plate na desired subject matter niya rin with the use of sharp needle. By that, yung dry point na ginagawa niya, yung scratches lines, yun yung susundan niya or groups in the metal na meron tayo. Afterwards, for each point or print na meron siya, lalagyan niya ng ink, then it will rub on the groups and then scratch them to the surface and then wipe over the space to clean out the surface na meron siya. So, sa mezzotint, ganun din, mas technical yung tri-point method or medyo need a sensitive way of creating of your printing techniques. Sa etching naman, yung gagawin natin dito is producing drawings o kaya designs, metal plate pa din, pero covered siya ng wax. Bago, gagamitan ulit siya ng needle, then penetrate siya doon, tutusok to the surface of the plate kung ano yung desired mo doon sa isang part na yun. So, tatanggalin yun, we-filled out yung lines, then magkakaroon yun ng pictures and it will transfer to the paper na meron tayo. Then, try to analyze then how complicated the way of techniques before, unlike nowadays na meron tayo, which has a one click or one click on the mouse, makaka-print o makakagawa na tayo through the use of our printer nowadays. So, doon na nakadali or accessible yun. So, ito yung mga examples na pwede natin makita making use of the intaglio. Some are not fully get the objects or the desired subject matter since it is not a perfect equipment to use to draw out or to cut out yung picture na gusto mo. Then, most of them many objects are inside of it. So, that's why medyo malabo, medyo hindi kaya lahat, or medyo, let's say, hindi clear yung buong larawan na meron tayo. So, we have lithography. Sa surface printing naman, yung lithography, ang nangyayari, yung proseso niya is done from a flat, plain surface. So, dito, yung lithography niya, gagamit tayo ng pagproseso, ng pagpiprint from a flat stone or metal plate. Then, dito, yung method niya, on the repulsion way, between dun sa grease and water na gagawin natin. Okay? So, gagamit tayo ng grease at saka ng water. Then, the design will be put out dun sa surface na nilalagyan natin. Then, yung buong surface na yon is treated o lalagyan ng ink. Then, only yung areas lang yung lalagyan mo na desired mo, hindi yung buo. Di syempre, pag buo yun, hindi mo makukuha talaga yung desired mo. Dapat doon lang sa distinct part of the space na lalagyan mong surface. And then, yung ink ay matatransfer na doon. Then, paper printing na siya. Ayan na, meron na tayong lithography na tinatawag. So, sunod yung screen printing or serigraphy or what we call silk screen din. So, ito yung popular na ginawa ng elementary days ko and high school days na isa sa mga possible na arts ginawa pwede din ninyo in your high school and elementary days. So, yan. It's rectangular. It's a picture of frame na gusto mong yung unwanted proportion mo na gawin doon. Pwede yun. Isang print lang ng isang print. Pero kung gusto mo ay yung plain or yung rectangular frame mo is gusto mo ay iba-iba, so magka-cut out ka ng mga desired objects mo or yung sa papel, yun yung paggagayahan. Then, ipuput doon para malagyan ng style na gusto mo. So, ito yung itsura noon. So, itong W na yan, pwede yan, nakatulad nito, na naka-gray, na hindi naka-white. So, dito sa ilalim yan, lalagyan ng papel para paglagay ng ink dito mula sa squeezes na meron tayo. Yun yung desired object na gusto mo na mangyari. Then itong rectangular na to, kailangan yan para to hold the photo emulsion, no, from the materials na meron tayo or yung desired mo. Kasi yan yung magsasala. Pag naglagay ka yan, para hindi dito lahat makalat. So pag ginamit mo yan, masasala yan kung ano lang yung desired image mo na kinat mo or dinesign mo, yun lang yung malalagyan. Then, yung nandito, syempre sa print and image, pwedeng sa papel, mas maganda sa damit kung gusto mo. Kasi, itong screen printing or serigraphy natin, medyo matagal din ang matanggal yan. Usually, ito yung ginagamit during campaign, di ba? Next, we have commercial art. So, alam na natin itong commercial arts. It is abundant nowadays. No? It is popular and even in the internet section, nandun din siya. So it includes designing of books, advertisement, poster or signs, and other displays to promote or acceptance of product, service, or idea. May nga siya tinag na commercial art for consumption of public, for use of public, no, na meron tayo. Mechanical process. Ang mechanical process natin ay developed by commercial printers for a rapid large quantity of reproduction ng mga pwedeng gamitin books, magazine, other printing materials other printed materials, and many more similar to that one. So next is photography. Is a photochemical or chemical mechanical process. So ginagamitan siya ng object ng camera, then pinade-develop siya through using of chemical which image are being created or produced, and then nasi-synthesize siya through the actions of light na meron. That is the old way of making of photography. Tama po ba? That is a form of how is it looks like before. Then the black and white are the full colors of the original. Available yan sa kanila. So yun yung ginagamit natin before. So yan yung meron tayo. Okay? So early development. Continue po ba natin tong early development? Medyo mahaba din to. So, I think kailangan na natin ding ikat, no? Kasi baka, abutan na rin tayo ng time to have a rest din naman para sa inyo. So, sobrang madami na or medyo overload na rin po para sa inyo o para sa atin tong umagang to. Anyway, I'll be stop sharing, going to home screen, and yes, the floor is open for some add-ups, some clarifications, for more ideas, no, or sharing to your other classmates and to your instructor as well dito sa ating topic for this morning. Beginning now, you may now turn on your microphone. Join 3A. Good morning. Ayan, we have chat box. Meron tayong chat box dito na may nagsulat ng kanyang comment. Sir, when po ang next meeting? Next week. Next week, same schedule na meron tayo. Tuesday and Wednesday. Same time din pa rin tayo. Thank you po, sir. Welcome. How about other students? Meron bang concern or nothing? Oh, mahirap yan. Walang concern. Walang tanong. Ito, sa chat box ulit natin. None so far. Wala namang po, sir. Okay, I assume that every topic that I have discussed is clear, and kung gagawa na tayo ng type of art or gagawa tayo ng activity through the use of this application, I assume na may a-apply nyo na to or magagawa natin ng maayos. Tama po ba? So, yun yung makikita natin. Okay, so shall we end? Shall we end? Ako, ayaw din mag-reply. Yes po sir, maraming artists po sa Jorn. Mga magagaling po talaga mag-paint. Ayan. Let's see and let us wait for that moment no, na gagawin natin. So yung mga yon kailangan natin makita when making up an arts. And ayan, sana maging ano rin tayo, sariling gawa rin natin. And do not copy the works of others. Or if you wanted to inspire this, itong mga subject na to, then try to get the inspiration, not the idea. No, yan. Kailan po tayo gagawa ng sculpture sa Kali? Pag natapos na natin i-discuss siguro yung sculpture, kasi uunahin muna natin yung painting, like the historical point, no, and the other ideas na inside of elements of arts na meron tayo sa visual arts. Gawa na po tayo ng arts soon. Tingnan na natin yan ha. But for now, let us discuss first yung mga academic one. Though alam ko excited na kayo, but still, let's have muna, relax. Let us wait for the perfect time. And then, ayan, marami kang gagawin talaga. Because during your midterm and final project, gagawin talaga niyo yung art na yun. And make sure at napagagawa kayo, pasok sa criteria natin na gagawin yung art na meron kayo. Ano-ano po pala possible arts na magagawa po natin sa subject nito, sir? For example, if we're going to discuss sculpture, then sculpture, you may use different mediums. If you want to use medium of soap, clay, papers, kung gusto niyo gumamit kayo ng wood, o kaya kung gusto niyo gumamit kayo ng metal, or kung kaya nyo naman, mag-soap sculpture kayo. Or kaya yung food of gustatory art of cuisine, gusto nyo i-present yun, wala namang problema doon. Sa painting naman, of course, painting, may different mediums naman tayo na ginagamit. We are not only limited to the medium or medyo tayong available. So, you may utilize other available resources in your house. Yun yung pwede natin gawin. Sa painting, pwedeng gumamit ng watercolor. Kung wala tayong gamit ng mga pang-paint no, na materials, walang problema doon. Use the watercolors of your mga malilit na kapatid na though gamit na, pero still useful pa rin siya. You may use other colors, you may use yung mga oil painting na meron tayo, or oil paint, or pwede kang gumamit ng pastels na meron tayo, or whatever it is na properties na pwede nyo i-apply through the use of painting naman. So, sa literary arts naman, kung kayo inclined doon, pwede tayong gumawa. Marami naman po at yung mga yon pwede nyo i-express. No? Pwede kang gumawa ng mga spoken poetry, or pwede kang gumawa ng mga open letter, o kayo gumawa ng mga poet, free verse. Basta, yung nasa discussion, nasa topic natin na pwede natin gawin. Or kung kaya madiscuss natin yung architecture, you can create or build some architectural designs. Like for example, yung buong City of Dreams, pwede mong gawin yun kung gusto mo sa bahay nyo, or you may lay out, or you may use recycled materials. Maraming pwedeng gawin. Or if we're going to discuss yung mga landscape, pwede natin gawin yung mga landscape din natin. So sa bahay nyo, or gumawa kayo ng mga artificial, kahit sa maliit na espasyo lang, yun yung mga magandang gawin natin. For at least, we can explore and we can experience the beauty of arts na meron tayo. So sa music, pwede rin natin gawin yan if you wanted to sing, if you wanted to create your original composition, pwede din naman sa music na meron tayo, hindi rin naman limited to composing of mga kanta, but also you may play, you may create your own mga pitches or mga tawag dito composition din ng iyong music na gusto mong gawin, or mag-revise ka, or kung gusto mo mag-explore ka pa ng mas marami. So madami, pwede din sa dance kung gusto nyo, but ayan, meron din tayong mga iba't ibang way of expression of arts na ginagawa in life, no? Pwede din magdrama, pwede din mag-dance, mag-theater. So marami pwede natin gawin. O kaya pwede tayong mag-monologue. Gawin natin yung sa mga ginagawa ng radio or ng mga popular arts, 'di ba? So we can explore everything. We can explore in every aspect of arts na meron tayo. Madami siya, hindi lang siya ito lang, hindi lang siya limited dito. You may use other available or other things that you are uh, that you know, or you may do, no, as a performer or as an artist. Yan yung meron tayo. For the meantime, let us finish first, no, the academic, no, na meron tayo. Yan yung mga discussion natin. Kung kakayanin ng semester, kayanin natin, lahat gawin natin. Kung hindi, then ayan, explore na rin natin to us. But don't you worry, we are not only limited to that one. Pwede din tayong gumamit ng mga virtual virtual uh, virtual arts or mga available museum na they are offering virtual, no, or virtually. So yun yung mga pwede nating tignan or pwede nating puntahan, no? Or if you wanted to visit yung mga available music arts na meron tayo. Okay, it's already 9:58. Any concern? Sa chat box, wala na. Ano pa ba? So I assume everything is clear, and let us end our meeting for this morning. Let us pray first, na the closing prayer. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women, and blessed are the thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Happy eating. Ingat. God bless you po. Sa sunod na meeting,
Thank you po,
kita tayo
sir.
ulit. Maraming salamat po.
Yes, sir.
Thank you po, sir.